What's up, folks? Welcome back to another video where we are building this application from scratch. If this is your first time you watching this series, definitely watch out the videos before that. However, let me give you guys a demo again on what we're building. In this case, we're building a very deposit app where you can deposit money on it. It shows your current balance, what it was, and it shows you what you have right now after the deposit. You can keep depositing, and every single of this is a random number. Again, you can withdraw. You got the idea. We withdraw $10. Our balance was $129, and now we have $19. But what did we do in the last video? Well, in the last video, we went ahead and kind of get a very simple scaffold out of the way. We used the Create React app to kind of generate a very simple React full application that looks like this, that have an SOC folder, and we run it, and then we were able to kind of have something like hello world. But what were we doing in this video? In this video, what we're going to try to shoot for is we want to at least have some very basic layout, which means that however this is being laid out, whichever button, the color of the buttons, the text below, and everything, kind of get this out of the way before we start going really deep. Okay, so in order for me to do that, I'm gonna use the the React Bootstrap in order to kind of get that out of the way. So what do I need to do? Again, there is gonna be a link in this video below. Every single resources we use, definitely go ahead and kind of click on the link. For this one, I'm gonna click on the Get Started one. Okay, and what you need in this one is I'm gonna go here and copy this example right there. I'm gonna go back inside my terminal. I'm gonna stop everything, Control C, and then paste that link in there. Use the capital dash save to save that as a dependency. And then the second thing I'm gonna need to do is I'm gonna need to go down, and all the way wherever you have the CSS portion right here, you're just gonna need to copy this link in this code right there. I'm gonna copy that one, and then inside my code, I'm gonna navigate to wherever inside the SOC folder. I'm gonna go inside the index.js, and right here, right after that server worker, I'm gonna add this code right there. Again, this is important. Make sure that you add that CSS right there. Now it's a matter of just waiting for the installation to finish. All right, this seems like the installation is fully complete. Again, for some of you guys, it will take some time for you, so don't worry, just leave it for a couple minutes. It did actually take quite a minute for me, so definitely give it a second just for it to finish. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to go inside the app.js again, and once we're here, we're gonna start bringing, sorry, I just literally clicked on something. So once we're here, we're gonna bring a couple things right there. Okay, the first thing that we're gonna be bringing is we're gonna be bringing two things from the React Bootstrap. So I'm gonna go here and bring React Bootstrap. Okay, you see Bootstrap, make sure you spell it exactly correctly, otherwise you might be pulling on the wrong package that you do not have that installed. So the two things I'm gonna need to bring is something called card and button, because these are the two things that I need right now. Now, in this case, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to the documentation. I'm gonna go back to components. I'm gonna try to find a component, and then I'm gonna find a card. Okay, I'm gonna find a card. And then here I'm gonna navigate and see if there is any that I really like that can possibly get the job done. Again, it's a matter of just picking something. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of pick this one. So I select everything, you see, so I select everything and copy that, and then come here, we place the div with it. You see, I will place everything and save it. Okay, so now that would be card.header, card.body, and everything you can possibly think of. Okay, so let's run the application now and do npm start and see what happened. All right, it seems that my server is up. So if I go here, this is what I have. Of course, this is not exactly what we were looking for, but at least we can kind of start getting a couple things that looks nicer than what we had than just the hello world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a class here called container. I'm going to do class name. I'm going to call this one container. And what this should do for us, if I save it, it should at least kind of put something more like in a center instead of just full width, more kind of centralize it, or if you want to put it that way, if that's even a word. But anyway, long story short, the other thing we're going to do, we're going to replace that feature thing with Bank of America. And then what else? All right, that should be it. Save that, and let's go back again to the app. It will refresh. And if you see here, we see Bank of America on the title right there. So we don't need all these contents. I'm going to go ahead and kind of delete everything here except the buttons. We definitely need the button because we're going to need the button in order for us to kind of display these. If I kind of show you guys here, so we're going to need the button. We'll need a total of 2 buttons. So I'm going to go back and kind of do that. So I'll just come here and kind of do 2 buttons. The first one will be something called deposit, and then the second one will be something called withdraw. Very basic. So, and then we'll need a text. The text, you're gonna add a p tag, so go here and add a p and close that p tag. In the text, we're gonna be adding to that one just your total balance is. I'm just gonna hard code that value for now, for you guys to really see what we're working on. So if I go here, I can say your total balance is. Make sure I close that. I think I misspelled something, so let me make sure that I got only text there because that looks way better. So once I have that, I'll see your total balance is 100 USD, and I'm gonna copy that one, add it into a different tag, a B or tag. Make sure that I close it, and then I kind of add this one here. So save that, and let's see what we have. So if I go back here to the browser, we have the 2 buttons in the same color, and they're kind of like near each other. We don't want that. If we take a look at the graph, this is what we had. They had some space between them, and the withdraw calling was red. So if we go back to the Create React app here to kind of see an idea how we can change the button. So if I go on the button right there, and there is the different colors for every single button. It seems like all I need to change is the variant, so I can have a primary, a secondary. It seems like if I want the red one, it's called dangerous. So I'm gonna copy that name, go back to my code, and this is the withdraw one. So I'm gonna, instead of primary, I'm gonna change this one to dangerous. So if I go back inside this page, and now it changed to red. At least that's looking good. The second is the space. So if I want to add some space to them, so I'm gonna go back to the code. Right at the end of this, I'm gonna add like a curly bracket in a little string and add a space, and I'm gonna do the same thing for that one here, and let's save that and see what we have in this case. So if I go back here, refresh it, at least we have some space. I don't think we need the other one, so I can delete that. Let's test that out. So if I go back inside this page, yep, it did not make any difference. So at least our application start looking better than what we had before, than just that hello world. But is this really what we're working? When we click, it doesn't do anything, right? But we don't want this. We want a really good application that can perform some transaction. So in the next video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start building at least some of the core function that we need in order to get that video out of the way.